So an agency essentially will have a client. They have a message they want to get out, and then it is up to the creative team to create that message both in written or verbal text and also through images. And then the art director more or less spearheads all that and then actually takes it to production. Is that a fair assessment?
That's yeah, in a nutshell, right. You have a client who has a problem,
Yeah.
is looking for a solution. And in an agency, you usually have a person who makes contact. They're not usually a creative person.
Right.
They're the account exec, which is the sales force or the representative. And they are somewhat of a go-between.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's good to have them between these
Yeah.
creative people.
They're not, a lot of times, they're best people to talk to the customers, are they?
A lot of times they're not. But still, the creative people, if they can get involved, they can learn directly
Mm-hmm.
and work directly with the client, because the creative person has to have a marketing sense.
Okay.
You can be a great designer and do great pictures and pretty pictures, but if they're not on target, then you're not marketing for the client.
And for our students who are new to that idea, because I think there's a preconceived notion that marketing is all about creativity, but there's definitely a business side behind it, and there's a strategy behind it. So when you say that the creative person has to have a sense for marketing, you're talking about knowing who the audience is, what's interesting to them, what will grab their attention, that sort of thing.
Yes, what exactly you need to. Yeah, you have to know your client as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And there again, the creative people are not interested in statistics and all that boring stuff, but they need to get a sense for it.
Sure.
So if you're going to research, if you're going to do research, come back to me and break it down in a nutshell and tell me who my client is.
Gotcha.
Or who my market is, and I'll direct everything toward that market. The statistics people can go out, gather the statistics. They know how to do that. I don't want to learn that.
Right. Just the bottom line.
That's a specialty in itself. Yeah, it's great to have that.
Sure.
But you don't always have that.
Yeah.
And when you're starting out as a small studio, before you get into the agency, before it grows into an agency with all its departments, the art director, and I've done this, I've bought the media, I've bought the printing, I've even gone to the TV studio and put together things there and done all that. Well, you want to get out of that. You want to get focused on directing it, designing, the visual. The concept is really what you're developing.
Mm-hmm.
The concept is what the message is. The client will come in, as you know, and say, I've got a problem, hopefully. Sometimes they'll come in and say, I need a brochure. Well, brochure may not be the answer.
Right.
But they've got a problem. They're trying to, they've either developed something, they don't know how to market it,
Mm-hmm.
or their market's fading. They need to get back into it. And this is why you see the ad agency people playing golf with these people. You have to have their confidence, because they're going to tell you what their problems are. They're going to bare their souls of their company. And
Right.
all their secrets will be out, as much as they want to display. Well, you need to know all that about a company to sell that company, or to know what their strong points are and what their weak points are.
That's something we talk about a lot in class, knowing their core competencies. And
Right.
sometimes it takes a little romancing to get that out of them, doesn't it?
And that's where the visual is too. You want the visual to show their core competencies.
Sure.
So if you can do great designs, but it has to be focused on the positive of that company.
I got you.
And so you have to have a marketing sense. So where was I going
Could
with
you
this?
could you quickly give me, and I don't know if this would be a conflict, but could you give us an example of like, you don't have to tell us the name of the client, but somebody came in with a problem, and just briefly what the end result looked like?
Let's see. I didn't come prepared for that.
I kind of popped that question in on you without
Yeah, I
any
should've.
warning whatsoever.
I should have thought of trying to find a good one, because usually they come in with we've developed a new product.
Okay.
We've got this new technology. Now, how do you market it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you're doing is you're educating people on this new product. If I had a Me Too product, if you're parody, well, then what are you selling? Then you're selling your reputation.
Okay.
You're building up your
Who your
Yeah.
company is versus the other company.
right.
Yeah.
And it's all perception.
Sure.
And that's all we're doing is perception modification. So when you have a new product, well, then you're in the education business.
Because it's unique.
It's unique.
Right.
You have to tell them about it, and it's more expensive.
Sure.
You have to get it in front of them, show samples, show examples of success. So it's an expensive thing when you do that. But once you get that,
Mm-hmm.
then you've got head and shoulders above the other clients.
Sure.
So once you've got that education out there, then you're ahead.